Good afternoon, everybody. Me and Abby are doing a session with Jen today, and some of the things that she wants us to look into is help her not get trapped into the routine of fear and negativity, so she can better be supported by her guides as well as other people. And one of the other things she wants to see if any of her higher selves appear and to help her through this journey. So one of the things I always like to do is to take a deep breath in and then always note the mouth. And as you're doing that, it helps relax your mind, body, and soul. It helps you release all the worries of the day, of the week, of the month, of the year, so that you're able to fully grasp the understanding and the wisdom that's being brought forward in the healing, so your body and soul are better able to process that information. So take a deep breath in your nose, note your mouth, and allow all those things to be released. I always visualize myself on a rock, and I'm surrounded by the ocean. And when I pick my hands up and bring them down in front of me, what I'm doing is calming the waters so they're perfectly still. And then I get off the rock and allow the spirits to come to me, or I open a gateway to where I want to go from this space. But you can do this on top of a mountain. You can do it in your house, in your chair, in like watching the sunset. You can do it anywhere you feel comfortable. To visualize yourself. You can even visualize yourself with a cup of water and having the water being like wavy. And it doesn't have to be wavy, but if it is, you need to settle it down so it's perfectly still. Because that water is a representation of your spirit energy. And when your spirit energy is at a level, it gives you the ability to open your heart fully and be able to really truly grasp the message that are coming in. And it's okay if you can't do it the first time or the 10th time or the 20th time, but to keep trying and trying to be able to get to that point. But each individual will learn to do what works best with them. But one of the things they tell me over and over again is do not meditate on nothing and expect to have something to happen. You need an intention, and you need to go to a place that is peaceful. And if that room is a completely white room, then fine, you can meditate going to a completely white room. However, you also have to have the intention that something's going to come to you, or you're going to open the doorway to go to somewhere. Because if you just think of nothing, then that's all you're going to get. Is nothing. I see an old woman knitting, sitting in a chair by a fire. And a little girl with her hands like this, just intently watching her. It's a very peaceful scene. And the woman gives the little girl a little bit of yarn and also some needles, and she's teaching her how to basically make socks. In this case, it's a sock. And the old lady's very patient, but the little girl isn't so patient. She's like, starts to try to do it, but she gets frustrated, and then eventually she ends up getting it, but it takes some work. It doesn't happen instantaneously. And a lot of people have a tendency to focus on things with an instantaneous result. And you don't get instantaneous results all the time. Once in a while you do, which is great. But most of the time, we don't get instantaneous results. So it can be a little difficult to accept. And a lot of times people just give up. But this little girl doesn't give up. She keeps trying and trying and trying. Even though she gets frustrated, she keeps trying and trying and trying until she actually gets to create that sock. And when she makes that sock, the sock's too big. It's for an adult. And she's kind of devastated that she made a sock too big and it's kind of warped a bit. But the old lady just smiles and says, "What a wonderful sock." And she takes the sock and she puts it on. And it's not a perfect fit, but it doesn't matter because this old woman praises her for doing such a wonderful job. And the little girl is beaming at this point. She forgets that it isn't perfect. All she cares about is that her grandmother's happy with what she's done. And her grandmother continues to work with her until eventually she's producing those socks in a perfect size every time. And she's got all kinds of different color socks now. And she makes socks for her grandma and to her parents and everything else. And she's just so ecstatic about this. She's really proud of it. The simple things sometimes we overlook, and a lot of times people just want to have a little bit of gratitude for what they do. The little girl gets older, and things are a little bit more difficult now. The girl is very stressed. She's waiting for an exam and she's kind of like really stressed out. And she's worried that she's not going to pass. She's worried that her parents are going to be upset with her. She's worried that she's going to fail. Worry, 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 worry. She's breaking her pencil over and over again because she's pushing too hard. But the teacher walks over and puts their hand on her back. In this case, it is a female. And she puts their hand on the girl's back and she just whispers in her ear, "It's okay. Just try your best. But remember, your pencil is a pencil. It's not silent. It is not made out of metal. So you don't push so hard or it's going to break. But it's more like for her, just relax. Do the best you can. It is okay. It is only a test. It's not going to change. It's going to change very little. If you do well, you do well. If you don't, you'll know what you need to work on going forward." And the girl seems to calm down a bit, but she's still stressed. And it's not because anybody's telling her, it's because she's so hard on herself. And because she's so hard on herself, she actually creates a situation where she does get so stressed. She might even ace the test. But sometimes we get so wrapped up into trying to do the best we can that we stress ourselves to the point that we're never able to fully get to that level that we want to because we're so stressed out about something or someone. And the question is, why are you so stressed? You have to go back into that strain or in that line of thinking, and you go into the mind of this girl that is writing this test and she's really nervous. I go back to a lifetime many hundreds of years ago, and there's a man here with a whip, and this woman is a slave, and this woman needs to do certain tasks, and if she doesn't do them perfectly, she's going to get whipped for them. And she gets whipped many, many times, and whipped and whipped and whipped. So if she doesn't do it perfectly, she gets whipped. It shows her in, I'm not sure how long ago, in another situation where if she doesn't do what she's told, she gets her hands smashed really hard, to their bleeding sometimes. Then there's another lifetime that the woman grows up in a farm and is free and happy. And she does work hard, but if she doesn't basically do a perfect job, she is told how to correct that and how to make it better and to better herself, better her understanding of things. And it nurtures that part of herself so she's not so wrapped up in the fear and anguish of not doing a good job. That lifetime heals her quite a bit from these past lifetimes. And these other lifetimes were not just whipping, there was also rape involved and beating. And I don't need to go into details about that because this is the main message is about the fear of doing a good job and just the anxiety that is created from trying to be the best at everything and just not being good enough, I guess is the best way, from these other lifetimes. And this one lifetime of in the farm had actually healed you so much, but there's still those echoes of these other lifetimes that are coming through. So I snap my fingers and I take you high, really, 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 really high up. And we go shoot straight up like a lightning bolt. And we ended up in this space where it's just white and there's mist. I snap my fingers and I see these scenes unfold. These horrible, horrible scenes. And some of them are milder, some are not. And I take this lifetime of happiness and I overlap them. And I create suns, super bright suns, or purest white light to shine down upon these spaces. And the girl that is being whipped grabs the whip and stands straight up and says, "You have no power over me because I am free." And when she says that, she evaporates and goes up into the sunlight. And even a part where she's being raped, she stands up and she says, "I am free." And she disappears into the mist. And when the part where this being beaten by not doing a good job in school, as well as other things, it looks like this is from nuns, I believe. But it was not like 100 years ago, it's like 200 years ago. And they were really, really cruel to you. And that was a really, really difficult lifetime as well, because you never were able to do or be good enough to satisfy them when you were a child. So your hands would get beaten really, 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 really bad. It was traumatic because it started at such a young age. So you started to rebel against that. And you went against being a nun. And you're ridiculed for that. And I take that lifetime and you meet the girl, the farm girl standing in front of you. She runs over and gives you a big hug. And she glows really bright and you start to cry. And you go up into the light with her as well. And these energies heal. And they turn into mist. And I'm standing in front of a space with one girl glowing really bright. And you're standing beside me watching this all happening. And you're smiling, actually. You take a deep sigh of relief and you feel more at peace. It's like there's a weight that just lifted from your shoulders. And the woman has both her hands out, and she smiles at you and walks towards you. And she gives you a really big hug and says she's really proud of you. Anyone who lives in this lifetime needs a hug and to remember that we are all so proud of you. Because this is a difficult world. And it takes a brave person to come here at this time or at any other lifetime. She says, the fear, she points to your heart and into your mind, is an illusion. The things that you are fearful of are from your own soul, your own ego. There is nothing here except love, and she points to your heart. And when you shut your heart off, your mind replaces it with fear, replaces it with anxiety, doubt. And when that happens, the fear grows within yourself and it becomes a real thing. It becomes anxiety, it becomes doubt in yourself and your abilities to be. So when you really look at the things that you want to do in your life, what prevents you from being happy? What prevents you from being sturdy, strong? Stand up with your shoulders back. What prevents you from doing that right now? What is preventing you from doing that right now? All the things that come up in your life, all the challenges that you go through, the people that say you're not good enough, the words are all illusions because they're just words. Words that are spoken in harm are not worth taking into your soul and are not worth your time and thoughts. She actually has a bluebird in her hand and she smiles and she kind of does this and blows a little bit on the bird, and the bird flies over to you and lands on your shoulder. And then she blows her hand and butterflies appear all around you. And they're landing on your head and your shoulders, and the bird's kind of chirping away. The bird doesn't eat the butterflies. The bird sings and the butterflies dance. And if you allow your soul to be free like these butterflies and this bird, it will open up yourself to realize that there is no fear. There is nothing to be afraid of except yourself. And when you're afraid of yourself, then you start to become afraid of everything that other people say. Because if you're not afraid of yourself, nobody else can do anything to you at all. So the fears within us are amplified by the fears, by the words of others or the actions of others. But they really have no power unless we give them power. She smiles at you and she spins and bursts into butterflies and she flies away. And that was a version of your higher self that had a message for you. When you sing from the heart, you will be set free from the fears within your mind. So how do you sing from your heart. How does your heart smile? How does your heart grow and expand when it is so hard to even get up in the morning? It is all based on your beliefs and perspective and acceptance of everything that is going on. Sometimes your life creates very difficult situations that are beyond our control, and how we handle those things creates our realities, creates our fears, anxieties, depressions, or it can create happiness, love, acceptance and understanding and respect for others. If you have something that's going on in your life that creates fear, ask yourself why you're afraid of that thing. And then ask yourself why you will continue to allow yourself to be afraid of that thing. And ask what is creating it, so maybe you can change it. If you're afraid and you're watching tons of horror movies and you're afraid of darkness or something, stop watching horror movies to start. Because taking away the things that are creating our fears is a beginning of letting go of those fears. Because once you stop watching it, then you can look further and deeper into why that is happening and why these fears are growing within ourselves. Because when you don't have a major influences, are more subtle. So when the fear starts to arise in everyday life, it's easier to identify what the source of that fear is. So we can finally let go of that fear and conquer it. So what is the thing that causes us the greatest fears, or causes you, Jen, the greatest fear? Sometimes our fears, or the root to our fears, is not always what we think it is. I call upon you to show me what your greatest fear is, Jen. The fears that are deep within your soul, the things that you're afraid to look at in the mirror. The doorway opens up, and there's like dark energy emanating from the back of it and around the door itself. And I say, do you have the strength to go through the door? And your hands are shaking, and you say, I don't know. And I say, open the door and face your fears. You open the door, and instantly there's a scream that goes right through your soul, and you're in a dark space, and you're paralyzed on the ground, covering your ears, and there's a screech that is so loud. And I just allow yourself to not hear that sound so loudly. You are a spirit. You do not have to listen to it that loudly. You don't have to allow it to debilitate you. I can hear the screams, but they do not overwhelm me. And I create, well, you could say they're like earplugs, but I create things within your ears that are dulling the sound. But when are you going to be able to listen to that sound without being afraid? And you take your time, and I say, the sound is only as loud as you allow it to be. And you take the things out of your ears, and you instantly cover your ears, but I say, the things are as loud as you allow them to be. and the screaming stops. You take a deep breath, and there is a little blood coming out of your ear. And I say, that is okay, that is also an illusion. You are a spirit. Your ears do not bleed. And you start and you change it so your ears are not bleeding. And we walk down this corridor, and there is full of bugs, like weaving it out of the earth that is around us, because this is like raw earth we're walking down. It's cold and damp, and you can see the bugs going in and out in this space. And we're walking down, and we're walking, and we're walking, and we're walking. And there is a sound. It's like scraping off in the distance. It's like somebody had just put a great big huge axe and is scraping along a concrete floor. Is what it sounds like to me. And we keep walking, and there's an area that is like it's like there's pieces of moss and roots and stuff that are very thin, and it's blocking the way forward, but we walk through it. But there's an expectation of walking through and not knowing what we're walking into, and that scares you as well, not knowing what you're walking into. But I said, there's nothing to be afraid of. If you don't know what's forward or what's in front of you or what's to come, that is okay, because why would you want to know that anyway? Because all it is creates anxiety. If you knew you were going to die in a week, you could spend the rest of your week doing absolutely nothing except worrying about it. Or you could just live your life normally, and when the time comes, the time comes. It's better that way. It's better not knowing what is coming. So let's just walk through here and see what's on the other side. And when we walk through, we walk into our space, and it's upside down, like everything's flipped around, and then it flips back up, and then it flips around like here, and it flips back up. So it keeps doing this, like it goes up, stays up there for a while, and then does this, and goes up, and flips for a while, and then does this. So it's creating a weird movement. So it's like, so this isn't what you thought it was it? And you admit that, no, this isn't what I thought it was. It is a room that is it's not in balance, and it should be standing still, but it's not. What I notice when we go up, it shows a way to go, and then when it goes back down, that way to go disappears. So when we go back up, we walk quickly through the door, continue on, where we're back standing normal again. And we're upside down for a while, but now we're back straight up. So things sometimes throws us upside down, and we get confused and know which way to go. But all we have to do is basically allow ourselves to rebalance, reset, so we can find our way to go next, and that's okay. It's okay to be thrown out of balance and turned upside down sometimes, but is putting yourself back on your feet and walking forward is also an important message for you. And we walk through, and there's a doorway, but it's a crack, and it's pretty nasty. It's like fleshy material, and it's a lot of blood, and it's like a wound in the side of the cave, and it's the only way to go. There's no other way to go. And we push our way through, and it's pretty gross. It's like it just makes really gross sounds, and the smell is kind of foul, and it gets more foul and more gross as we walk into the point where we can't even move. And you don't want to breathe in, because you breathe in, your mouth is going to be full of this pussy gross stuff. And so you just hold your breath, and you hold your breath, and you hold your breath, and you start to panic. Like it's actually creating a panic attack in you, because you can't move. And I just take you, and I kind of just push my way through really quickly so we get to the other side, and you're in that space, and I pull you through, and you're like blue and you can't breathe, and it's like, so I take an orb from my chest and I place it in your head, and you just snap out of it, and you breathe, and you're just like breathing and panting really heavy, and it's like, man, that was intense. Actually, it was kind of intense, but you come through it though. You're okay. You can't smother. You're a spirit. It's the idea that we're going to smother that creates the smothering, not that we're going to get smothered. We can't get smothered, we're spirits. So in this place, you cannot get smothered. But that was also a message for yourself, for claustrophobic. That was what it felt like, really severe claustrophobia. And when you're trapped, like in this place was pretty ridiculous. It was always a bit claustrophobic being in there. But I know all we had to do is continue forward to get out of it, and that's what we did. Because as a spirit, you can't be trapped like that. You can get out of it by just believing you can. This is a pretty gross place that we're in. It's really nasty. It's still fleshy, gross, and it's just really gross. So we're just going to keep walking through this and persevering forward. And we keep walking further and further into it. And this is okay, because this just means this is something that creating a lot of fear within yourself, and it just creates this wound within yourself. And you really don't want anybody to come and look at this wound, because this wound is really well hidden. We break through a membrane, and we're in a room. It's a dark room, but there's multiple ways in here, but all the ways have this membrane that prevents you from coming in here. So we end up ripping our way into this membrane, into this space. This is pretty weird, because and don't be disturbed by the visions, because the imagery, this is what's creating, this is what it looks like energetically, but it doesn't mean it's actually happening like this. You see yourself is in pieces, and there's like little fibers that are connecting you together, and your heart is actually pulled out of your chest by just fibers and is beating. But it's also creating, there's this like black goo that is going into your heart, that goes in through all your whole body, and it goes out and is creating this festering wound all around you. And this parts of yourself are all connected just by membranes. Like your legs are separate, your feet are separate, your hands are separate, your head is separate, your eyes are even out of your sockets, and your heart is out, and even some of your organs. It's like, what is the feeling of this? The feeling is this being separate from your body. Like you just want to be away from your physical body. So you're actually creating this situation where all these parts of yourself are trying to come out of your body, and they are in the spirit realm, because that's what you want. You want to leave your body. You don't want to be in this body anymore. And it's creating this wound, and it's creating this horrible feeling within yourself that it actually filters out from the spirit into the physical body. And so I just clap really, really, really loud, and it creates a wave that severs all these black lines that are going into feeding this, and all your body just falls on the ground in a heap, and it's really gross. But I breathe air like love and energy into this body, and I take this whole space and I pull it really, 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 really high, as high as I can, but it's on like this bungee cord. And what I do is I stretch it to as far as I can, and I freeze it, and I allow the light I don't rip this wound out, because this is important. It's telling me you cannot rip it out, but you can expand it to as high as you can. And then I open the gates of heaven, and a huge sun appears, and it beams down on you. And I just allow love and light from my heart to enter into these parts of yourself that are in pieces. And as a part of yourself, there's 4 parts of yourself that come down. And one is half white and half black. The other one is half gray and half white. And the other one is pure white, and the other one is half gray. Well, it's 3. It has to be white, gray, and black, actually, which is on your feet. And the other one's on, like I say, there's one to the left that is black and white, and the other one is gray and white, is on your head, and the other side is the pure white. And they stand there holding your arm. One holds your head, one holds your arm, the other one holds your arm, the other one holds both your feet. And they're starting to chant. As you chant, your body starts to glow, and it goes upwards. And I actually am chanting as well. And the gates open up above you, and there's this massive sunlight that comes down and of love and light from heaven that beams down upon you. And it starts to raise you up. And as we do this, we all start to raise up, and the things that were holding you here instantly start to let go. They're like little fibers that let go on their own. You can't rip it out. You have to allow this to happen on its own. And we're doing this, and it's a beautiful sound. Just give me a minute and reflect on just the beautiful singing, the energy of the love and the light. I just need to not say anything for a minute. Isaiah Noyantai Orion Ayosan Ayane Oraye Ayanoroyan Ayandoreyan Ayasayoram Ianahiarai Orayanore Iakororante Aianto Iasayorayan Ayaranaye Ormayadore Ayasayorayan Orayan Torayan Aisoraye Nayosoramai Ianahasaye Orayan Nora Ye Ayasokorane Iatosamayantai Orakitoma Tie Tasai Torayana Toso Hie aurum nasakito ko pie natasa toraya tisanaka no se. The beauty of love is everywhere. Allow your mind and soul to grasp the understanding that you are beautiful, you are love, you are eternal, you are whole, you are one with everything and everyone. Tasahintore Matakinto Tasaihi. I see the potential within your soul. Ukanamanahi Siratanai. The fear, the doubt, no kusindhai, anamahurahi, leaves your mind and body. It is not of you. Nahaintai anymore. You are Borsintai, everything and everywhere, every place. Tokasantai, Urahintai Komona. You are beautiful. Tasanai. No kosamanai akata. Allow your heart to fill the world with love. Believe that you are everything that you need to be at this moment, at this time, at this place. Turahinto kasanai. Borat nahite. Tuk antayamana sinte. Hus yantayam. Tanahi. You are kneeling down. This broken part of yourself is whole. You rise up and you spin and your wings expand. They are pink with sparkles of gold and other colors as well, like multicolors of sparkles. Purple, blue, pink, yellow. Your skin has radiance like sparkles, glitter. And you smile and you spin and you actually are very, like you're very happy. And you're smiling and you're flying around and you shoot straight up and you burst and all these sparkles come flowing down. And you're meant to know that when you're happy, you create sparkles around you that make everybody else happy. Did you know you could do that? Did you know that when you're happy, it creates these energetic sparkles that people breathe in and makes them happy as well? is very contagious. And that is one of your gifts. Not everybody can create the happiness around them by allowing their hearts to sing, to glow, to laugh. This is very beautiful. And she just is so happy, free. And she swims, she's flying around you like this, and you're breathing in this yourself, and you're just starting to lift off the ground. And she grabs you by the hand, and we all fly straight up. And we fly up, 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 up. And we just keep going up and up and up and up and up and up. And she's like, one part she's holding you like this is saying, and she's saying, let go. It's okay. Let go. And like literally, she pulls your soul out of this husk that's left, and it falls to the ground, and she smiles, and we keep going up. Just keep letting go of the stuff. Just allow yourself to rise higher and higher and higher. Allow yourself to be free of all this burden, all this doubt, fear. There's nothing to be afraid of. And we burst through this thick cloud, and it's almost like it's preventing us from going up, and we go into like a space, like outer space, but it's like inside a beautiful pink nebula. Very vibrant color and sparkles, and she's like, I'm home, and she screams it really loud, and she bursts, all this stuff just bursts from her, and she spins, and she's so bloody happy. It's really cool to see. And this is also a part of your higher self, but it's also part of your heart. This is your heart. This is what your heart can be. This amazing and happy and full of sparkles and love. This is magnificent to experience. There's also a bunch of other spirits that come, and some are pink, some are yellow, some are white, but they're not just white, they have all these other colors that are in them. And they're really curious about you. They're actually, there's some, like, it's weird because they're coming from below and above, and we look down, there's some coming up from below because we're standing in space. In this space of just really astonishing beauty. And they go right around you and wrap around you and just pass by you. And they just say to you that you are beautiful. And we're happy that you finally came here to spend some time in this space, to remember who you are, to remember how beautiful you are, and how amazing you are. And they actually hold hands, and you're in the center, and they start to sing and spin, and they're creating all this energy, sparkles is the best way to describe it, and it's going around you, and you're becoming sparkly. Your energy, everything is starting to sparkle, like the whole energetic field has all these sparkles, and they start to burst and expand and glow, and you are becoming more and more and more beautiful. Allow yourself to become who you are. Do not hold back. Allow this love to come into your space, into your heart, into your soul. It's so healing for you. It's so freeing for you. And she goes and kisses you on the cheek, and she says, you no longer have to hide who you are. You no longer have to hide me. Because I am you, and you are me. And she flies into your heart, and you take a deep gasp, and you just spin and smile and just light up. It is amazing to watch, to see. I'm just watching this experience for a while, allowing you to experience this. It's very important that you experience this energy, this love for you and who you are and how beautiful you are. Kind of reminds me of space fairies, but they're bigger. It's kind of a little bit crazy, but that's what it reminds me of, because their energy is so fairy-like. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful to experience this space, these beings. You. This is one of your homes. And she actually takes you by the hand, and we start flying through this space towards a very interesting space in here. It's like it's a light pink color, and it's glowing, and we're flying towards that right now. Things get a little bit brighter as we fly into this space. Like the energy, like the darkness is there was no darkness here, but the light and the space is becoming brighter and brighter as we're flying towards this planet, I believe. I don't think it's a sun. I get an idea that this is a planet. And we fly down, and it's still bright, but it's not as bright. It dims down a bit. Not a lot, because I'm talking, we went from super vibrant to seeing nothing but almost pure pinkish light to now we're starting to see something. And there's clouds, and just some clouds, and we break through the clouds, and we're going towards a place. It's a big tree. It's not pink though, it's like a light purple color. It's very tall. And she smiles at me because she knows I recognize this. And this is unusual, because I actually dreamt about this like about a month ago, about this tree. And it was very weird that I'm seeing it right now. And we're flying down to this tree, and we were standing in front of the doorway. It's weird because it's like a tree is like thousands of feet tall, and it's actually, you can go, it's a people live inside the tree, I guess is the best way to describe it. Not under the tree, in the tree itself. As we open the door, we're in a market here, but it's like it's a happy market. There's bright colored clothes. It's a physical place, this planet. Even though where we were was not really physical, this part is physical. It's their physical existence. It's not like ours. They can be a spirit and then they become physical form to live this experience. To be able to touch and feel one another is what they say. It's like the best of both worlds. Best of both worlds. And it's a very beautiful place. And you lived here for a very long time. And I believe I might have as well. I know this tree. But it's like a tree. It's not just a tree. It's a whole city inside this tree. And it like wraps around and it goes up to the center. Go through the center of this tree. There's rows and rows and rows of it's like a big market, but it's not just a market. It's a place. All this stuff is happening. There's singing and there's dancing. There's living. People live here as well, but the living's farther up, way up into the tree. And this part down here is like it's like a party place, but it's like a happy troll party place, like the Troll movie where they sing and they dance. It's like that. It's a beautiful energy, happy-go-lucky energy. And we go to the center of this market, and there is energy. It's like a crystal. And people walk up to the crystal and it's like they give it things. It's not, they're not worshiping it. They're just giving it, and they get they breathe in the energy. But it's like they give a part of themselves and we get it back. And it's like, I ask, what are you doing? And they're saying we come here to give our worries and our fears and what, it's that type of thing. It's like, it's for you, Jen. It's for you to come here. And I need to do it as well. I actually feel like I need to as well. We need to do this together. To give our fears, our anxieties, our anger to this. And it gives us, it transforms that energy within us. So I show you what to do, and I say you take and you breathe into an orb. So you need to do this with me. Breathe in all your fears, your anxieties, your anger, your frustration of your life, and you breathe it into this orb. Nakasapataini. Horana hiemono. Hiesa no corse natamone. Casa no. No mo casa nai anata. Allow everything to go that we no longer need. Nasaki wokana. So nahi nahi. The things that hide will be revealed and transformed. No kuasamanayatai. Allow the darkest things within our soul to be freed. Allow ourselves to be unburdened of our burdens. Na siye kana fonao. The last and final breath will transform everything that needs to be at this moment in our lives. The things that we can let go at this moment in time. Breathe deep. I give this to you. Or Santai Nikise. Place the orb within the crystal. No Kisana. And wait, and then breathe into the gift. We do this in 3 breaths as well. No kia na satai. Tosama naki, thank you. Nasama nakasai. Thank you very much, Jen. That's everything. And that is beautiful. Thank you for that experience and that wisdom and release of the things that we no longer need. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Good night.